Well, hey everyone, it is Wednesday. Yeah. So, I want to say thank you to everybody for all the cheering up that you did. I feel like I am doing a whole lot better. I only had one person leave a not so nice comment, basically saying that you're on YouTube and you put yourself out there, so you deserve any kind of comment or backlash that you get. I'm paraphrasing. That's not the exact comment. It has been deleted and that person has been blocked from my channel. So that's just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to block them off and they can see what they put in, but me or nobody else will be able to see it. So again, thank you everybody for all the cheering up that you did. So, I really have only made a couple of things because I went back to the Hocus Pocus dolls and they are very time consuming. Plus, oh gosh, this room is such a mess. I'm trying to get it straightened out, and I'm only making it worse as I go. I barely have a path to walk through. So I turned my desk a little so that I can work in here if I want to, and not at my computer. And I turned the desk so that I could at least put YouTube on the TV or Netflix or something and not feel like I'm in total isolation. But anyhow, yeah, it's a wreck in here. I don't know where I'm going to put everything. I have that one closet I need to clean out and go donate a bunch of stuff. And once I get that done, things will get a whole lot better in here. I'll have a place to put all this extra, because the more I make, the fuller the room gets, even though I'm working down the yarn, but then I have to order more because I use all that color and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I need space. I might have to go rent a storage unit or something. Anyhow, so I went back and revisited the Hocus Pocus dolls. I've already shown you Winnie, and I am the first person to admit that I am horrible with names, and that includes toys as well. I called her Sally. I know her name is Sarah, but I called her Sally. And in my defense, they both start with an S. So I showed you these two already. This one, I will say, is my favorite. This one does not have to be with anything else, and you know exactly who she is. So, following the list of the dolls in order of the pattern package, next up was, I think her name is Mary. And I was hesitant on her because of all the color changes in her skirt. But we got her done. Here she is. See, you do 2 rounds and then the color changes and it's, oh my goodness. I did pretty good underneath where it doesn't look real sloppy with the carrying of the yarn. I used cotton to make her little lace thing instead of the plush yarn. And this cotton was really close in color to the tangerine. So what I had for acrylic, it didn't even come close. Wasn't anywhere near close to the same color. So there's her. And she took me a long time for as small as she is. And, well, she's a little bit shorter than Sarah. And a little bit shorter than Winnie, but she's a lot of work. Then I went ahead and did Billy, and I did Billy yesterday, and I thought that this one would be easier, a little faster, but it wasn't. So here's Billy. He was probably just as hard as the other ones were. And it's not that it's hard, it's awkward. These are not market-friendly patterns. They are too time-consuming. And for the amount of work you do, and this is just my opinion, they're too flimsy. There's not enough substance to them. Like, I think these skinny little legs, and all the legs are the same size on all the dolls. You just can't see them on the ladies because they're all wearing skirts. They're all thin like this. And then they all have these short, stubby little body section. I think it needs more meat to it. And then if it had a little bit more meat to it, maybe it wouldn't be so awkward to handle. So we have all four. Let's see if I can hold them. All four of them. I did not do the black cat. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I have not done the cauldron or the broom that came with the pattern. I did, however, order the little felt mouths that the Chastity and Design, I think is her name. But I ordered the mouths that she has for the dolls. So we'll see when they get here, and then I'll show you what they look like on them. But definitely, I do not believe that this is a market-friendly pattern. At least for me, it took a very long time to make these. And for the size of them, the amount of work that went into them, I just don't think that it's all that great. Hang on, I gotta check a text message from my daughter. Okay, so she just informed me that she's cooking dinner tonight, and she was checking on the ingredients if we still had it. So I don't have to cook tonight. So that is a great plus. But anyways, I think I was saying that I don't think these are it's a good market pattern. That it's not a good market make because she's texting me some more. She's like, okay, I'm just going to go to the store. What do you want to go with it? Oh, hang on. Okay, back again. What do you want to go with it? I don't know. You're cooking. What is supposed to go with it? Anyhow, I think I was saying that I don't believe that those are a good market make. Not a quick market make. At least not for me. They're cute as can be. And there are a lot of Hocus Pocus fans out there, so they'll probably be a good seller. But they're not fast. Just know that. So then I had someone contact me on Etsy, and they wanted to buy my mystery box, but they wanted to know if they could pick out just one of the plushies that would be in it. So I told them yes, without knowing what they wanted. And when they purchased it, they added the note that they wanted a mallard. You know, just a little mini bird. And of all the plushies that I have, all the stuff just staring at me in this room and in the totes, do you think I had a mallard? No. So I had to make a little mallard. And I do not have it to show you, but I am sure that you know what it looks like because it's just one of the little mini birds. But while I had the little mini birds out, I should have made some more mallards, and I will. But I went ahead and did a couple of chickens. some little white chickens. Now, one thing, these are parfait chunky. One thing I'll say about the new texture that they've been sending, and I hope it's not permanent, when you sew in your ends, you can see the spot. I mean, like, you really have to work at it to make that spot go away. Like, I can see that right there. So hopefully they go back to the parfait chunky that we all know and love, that sheds like crazy, but it is super, super soft. So I did the 2 little chickens. And then we went back, way back in time, to a pattern that we bought way back in the beginning, before I really had a clue of what was going on. When I was still trying to learn, I was trying to pick some easy patterns, and I bought quite a few from Teresa's crochet shop. And one of the ones that I bought was her little clam. Well, I don't know where the shell to that clam is. It's around here somewhere. But this was the little clam itself, and it's very, very obvious. I did not, like, even come close to putting enough stuffing in it. Super obvious. And I think Toby must have got a hold of this, because I found it when I was moving this desk around. It was like way back in the corner, just kind of sitting there all by itself lonesome. So this is a Toby toy. But when Heather from Cottontail Crafts, Cottontail Crafts by Heather, when she makes her clams, and they're very popular in her little corner of the world in Nova Scotia, she does hers out of acrylic, and she uses variegated, and they always look so pretty, and a 3.5 millimeter hook, so I'm pretty sure they come out tiny. So I'm like, I want to try one out of acrylic, because I was honestly not impressed with how my original one did. And I never went back to revisit the pattern. I never tried to make another one. I was just testing patterns and buying them like crazy. And yeah, so I have a ton of patterns that I've done once and have never gone back to, and really should, because some of them are really good patterns. So I pulled out an acrylic and I tried working with it, and I couldn't work with it. It wasn't spun. Like, I don't know. It just, like, I could not grab onto this yarn to save my life. So I put that away and I broke out Posh. And I really like working with Posh. The only thing I didn't care for about Posh is the color choices aren't all that great, in my opinion. You can't really pair them up with anything. I mean, the black, the white, and the yellow are awesome. Some of the colors by themselves are pretty good, but like, there's nothing that coordinates together, if you know what I mean. So it's like, you have to use it on something that's going to be a solid color. But I broke out the Posh because when you work with it, it has a lot of structure. Like, it's not soft and floppy like Parfait used to be, or like Michael's would be. It's not floppy like that. It has structure. So I tested it out on a clam, and it's like, it is not floppy at all. The little, see, now I want to call this a pearl. The pattern calls it the clam, and I know pearls come from oysters, but an oyster and a clam are like super close cousins, and the same science can happen inside a clam that happens inside of an oyster. So to me, this is a little pearl. So I'm like, pulled out the colors, and I'm like, well, I can do the shell in gray. And I did the inside in like this pale strawberry color. And then I'm like, what color am I going to do the pearl? Well, the little pearl, clam, whatever you want to call it, I did in white. And I was very pleased with how this turned out because the Posh has so much structure. So I was like, let me try another one. So I pulled out the blue, kind of a bluish turquoisey color blue. I don't know the color names. And on this one, I did the inside with the gray. And of course, I did the little pearly clam dude is in white. And then I said, let me do this coral color. So I made one in the coral, and I gave it like that strawberry inside. This is what I was saying. It's hard because the colors don't really coordinate together. And a little white pearl. So I made those. And then yesterday I had some button orders that I had to finish. I get right to the part where I can print my shipping labels and the power goes out. Apparently it was a pretty big area that the power was out. And by the time the power came back on, I was melting because it was getting warm in here without the air, no fans. It was too hot to go outside. Forget about opening the windows. It was just starting to get warm. So sitting in the dark, I said, because this clam pattern is stuck in my head because I had just made them the night before, I said, let me go ahead and make a clam while I'm waiting for my power to come back on. So I did one in this pink, and I gave it the gray inside with a little white pearl. I mean, it's like the pattern was burned into my head. I could have made mini birds, but the Posh and everything was just sitting right there staring at me, and I said, let me go ahead and do it. Then I pulled out this very bright green. I do not know the color names. And again, I gave the inside of it that pale gray, and the little pearly clam dude is white. Then I said, you know what? I have no idea if these are going to sell. They've never been to market with me. And we're not having a market until, at least at this point, I am still on the waiting list, until October. So 5 is enough. More than enough to test it out. And then after I did those is when I did Billy. And I started Billy probably around 7-ish. And it was after midnight when I got finished. That's why I say this is not a good market make at all. So I've had a few people message me and tell me that Posh is back in stock. But from what I can tell, they don't have any new colors. So other than the black, the white, and the yellow, I probably would not buy any more yet, because I do not think the colors coordinate well together. And not to mention, I don't know where I'd put it. I'm like, what a mess this room is. It is a total mess. Thank goodness I don't have any guests coming over, because the bed that's straight across is just a mountain, and there's boxes everywhere, and I really, really, really need to get to that closet. That is the one thing that will help me out with my situation. That, and I think I need to get a few more totes to store these plushies in. I'm going to have a lot of plushies by the time the markets come around. So October is a 2-day market. I just got my invitation application yesterday, or no, on the 1st, from the very first market that I did last year, which happens to have been my best market I've had so far. And so I filled out that application, paid the fee, sent it in, and within a couple hours, I got the confirmation that I'm in. So that's November 16th. And I already know that December 7th, I will be at this other Christmas event. And then after that I know for sure is in April for an egg fling thing. Other than that, I'm on the waiting list for that other market I was telling you guys about. That's once a month that I really, 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 really want to get into. So I'll just keep putting myself on the waiting list and hope for the best. But the market that is November 16th, the one that was my best one, they're not doing it as a fall festival or harvest hoedown, or I don't remember what they called it last year, but it was fall themed, and they had, things for the kids and bounce houses and stuff. And this year they're calling it a Christmas Arts and Craft Fair. And I'm not sure if by them calling it that, if it's going to affect it, because this is something this place does every year, and it's been like 35 years that they've been doing it, so it's pretty popular. And I really don't know if they change the theme each year, or if it's always been a fall festival, and now this year they're changing it. But by them doing that, I'm a little concerned that it won't be as well as it was last year. And before I realized that that's what they were doing, I requested an outside booth because my thought process was that's where the families and the kids are going to be because of all the different things that they'd have for the kids to do. So now I'm having an outside booth, and I have no idea if they're having anything for the kids like that because it's not a harvest market. So there's that. But last year, I just happened to get lucky, and I had a corner spot, so I had 2 facings, and I was able to put everything on display. And there's no guarantee, and there's no guarantee that I would get that same spot again this year and have the 2 facings. That's why I requested an outside, to make sure I had enough space. Plus, I'll be able to hang up like the market bags and the water bottle carriers, and have enough room to put the bandanas and the bucket hats and the dishcloths and, all those other little things that I've been playing around with. They all need a home. And, yeah. That was my thought process for the outside booth. Hopefully, and you know what? I need to stop freaking myself out. It's going to be great. It will be a fantastic market. It will probably be my best, if not my second best of the year, because October, the 2-day market where I'm sharing the booth with Sue, could give this other one a run for its money. At least I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. And I have no idea what will happen in December, because that's going to be a totally new venue for me as well. So hopefully my next 3 markets that are confirmed and lined up will be great markets. And I have a feeling I am going to have plenty of stock to put in there. And I won't do a whole lot that's holiday themed. This may be my only set of Hocus Pocus dolls. Since the 2 are going to be Christmas themed, I might do a few Grinches. Maybe a reindeer, because that deer that I made last year went very quick. I probably didn't charge enough for it, is why it went so quick. But it was so pretty. So I might do another one of those deer or two. They do take a little while. I'm sure I'll be faster at it now because I've been making this stuff way much. A whole lot longer now than I was back last year when I did that. But I probably won't have anything Thanksgiving themed. I probably won't have a whole lot that is specifically fall. So I have the Hocus Pocus dolls, maybe a ghost. I don't know if I'm going to do any pumpkins. I didn't do any last year. I just don't want to get stuck with them because me personally, as a consumer, I don't buy holiday specific things as a gift for somebody because you limit their use. That's why I like to do more everyday. I can have it on display or play with it anytime that I want. That's just me, though. All right, you guys. I've been bending your ear long enough. I need to get back to working on this room so that I can walk through it. It is a disaster. And I keep staring at that closet. And it's like, do I really want to tackle it today? Or just try and like stack these boxes off to the side so that I can walk through the room. I'm just not sure how ambitious I'm feeling. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video.